I just want to know, like, what's the point and why is Lil Boat so favored? I don't get that. I remember back in the day being at being in PvP phase. I mean, this is back before 101 PvP year came out. Being in PvP phase, you go down to Chinatown, then you meet up at the list spot. There's a certain spot in Chinatown, heroes and villains meet up. It's at the respawn point for the villains, we meet up there. It was so different back then. And some days, it'd be like a bunch of heroes outside on the street. Just waiting for some heroes, waiting for some villains to come out. It was so funny. It'd be so funny. Because the villains, we just be in a bubble chilling, respectfully. The heroes be like, come out. We just want to play. I mean, back then, it'll get outnumbered sometimes here and there. But I mean, it wasn't really an issue. Nonetheless, though, it was always more heroes than villains. I mean, everybody want to be a hero, I guess, I guess some people just want to be the good guy, the so-called good guy, right? But yeah, I remember days like that, though. PvP phase over there at Chinatown. Then go up to the top of the building by the villain bubble. Got heroes and villains just chilling, watching some other people 1v1. Heroes 1v1, villain and hero 1v1, villains doing a 1v1. It was chill back then, respectfully. That's back when the PvE gear, the CR was clapped. Well, it was clamped at 125. I believe 126 was the max back then in CR for PvE gear. Could you imagine? If you was a new gen, if you're a new gen and you're playing this game right now, your CR goes up to like 448. That's the max right now, currently. You probably couldn't imagine PvP gear beating PvE gear. Back then it was feasible. I mean, PvP gear only has like a max of like what, 9,000 health. Only difference about PvP gear that made it formidable was the toughness. Now, I don't remember much back then about stats and shit, but you did want to have some PvP gear if you're going to be fighting out in open world PvP phase. That I didn't know. You wanted to have some PvP gear, because that shit works. I mean, I remember at the time, powers wasn't really broken. It wasn't powers that was broken. It was the weapons. Can you believe it? The fucking weapons being broken. I mean, it was beautiful, honestly. But it was until it wasn't. Because then you can get full health. Fucking a one hand 4-tap combo. I mean, it was ridiculous. Put on full PvP gear, then you put out your PvE weapon, because PvE has higher stats, especially when it comes down to damage. It's all dependent on your role. But yeah, some people will put out their PvE weapon and they got on full PvP gear. I mean, this is a formidable person if they know what they're doing. I mean, it was one hand back then was actually crazy. It was actually crazy. And dual wield had the same thing. I don't know much about dual wield. The 6-tap combo? The 6-tap combo. Full life somebody. It was actually crazy. It's like, okay, it's like I spent 5 months, 5 to 3 months getting this PvP gear, right? Full 100, just to get one-shotted by somebody that's in maybe half PvP gear with a PvE weapon. It's actually ridiculous. Man, it was good times back then, though. Really good times. I mean, can you believe it? The weapons was broken. So how else can you utilize a weapon if you don't use it, you know? People actually had skill back then, you know? It wasn't just this power spam you see now. I mean, skill points was actually different back then, too. You didn't have, like, the stat points you do now. So you actually had to use a weapon. I mean, I guess people used to power spam back then, too, but back then it was different. Not this shit you see today. I mean, how the fuck is you power spamming and keeping power? It's too OP. Respectfully, it's too OP. It is what it is, though. You know. But yeah, I just don't get why the bow is so fun. You know, I don't get it. I guess when you got everything, the 200 arts, the fully upgraded augments, you got some high tier, well, they allies. Got some high tier allies. I guess the game is fun when you got all this high tier stuff, you know? I mean, you beat the bosses in PvE, so it's like, what's next? No, I don't want to grind PvP gear. It's useless. And it is useless. Well, at least for open world, at least. It's lost its purpose. Even in arenas, PvP gear has lost its purpose. I mean, you can lose to somebody that's in 96 PvP gear. Like somebody out on full 96, you can lose to them. Or somebody got full toughness, right? Full toughness, but the PvP says like what 64, I believe. So you can lose to somebody like that. I mean, if you got full toughness in arenas, you don't gotta have like 94, 97. You just need the toughness. And I say this person is say he got like what 500, 600 skill points. Just say he's rage going against a what electric killer that has like 200 skill points. Better yet, I'm gonna say just 100. I'm gonna say 100 skill points. All right, because skill points matter. So this rage person with full toughness is gonna beat this other guy that's electric killer. You're gonna destroy this person respectfully, because skill points matter. It's not about gear. It's not even about skill. It's about who got the best, who got the most skill points, who got the highest artifacts, who got the highest allies, who got the highest augments. It's ridiculous, bro. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I don't expect it. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. I mean, I lost faith. I just play because I enjoy the game, really. I mean, if it changes, I'm still here. Actually, I like DC the way it is. You know, you hear it needs a part two, right? It needs a more realistic graphics. I mean, I guess, you know, me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with the game. It's fine to me. I mean, you know, just brings back memories, really. I can't really imagine how this game would look, though, being more realistic. I mean, I guess it can't be that bad. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with change. But I'm telling you though, I just don't get why. Why earn all this stuff just to sit around, look bow, and do nothing? I'm telling you, some of these people do not have PvP gear. They just sit around, look bow, and do nothing. Maybe just wait for somebody to toggle so they can fight. I mean, the villains always been outnumbered. But it's actually very comical because the villains be fighting back though. The villains dead ass be fighting back. We're always outnumbered, but sometimes we win. Isn't that crazy? I'm telling you, some of these guys do not have PvP gear. They get the highest gear available in PvE. They got the 200 artifacts. They get the augment maxed out. They got the allies. They got the legendary allies maxed out to 10. You know, it's like, okay, I'm very powerful in PvE environments. You know, when you queue up for an instance, you can probably out DPS everybody, right? Because of your high tier artifacts and everything else. But yo, I'm telling you, the villains be fighting back. It's actually crazy. I mean, in this video right here, it's like 4 villains, 4 fighting, 4 actively fighting, and then it's like 5 heroes. I wasn't really paying attention, but all I know is that it was a bunch of heroes fighting these 4 villains. I mean, it's anything goes. Honestly, in the open world, it's anything goes. You know, I mean, no wonder people switch powers, bro. This is why. No wonder people switch powers. I don't think it's entirely about arenas, why people switch powers. I think it's this open world shit is why people switch powers. I mean, you don't got no PvP gear, and you're losing in open world because your power just isn't good enough. Your PvE loadout isn't good enough to go against players. So it's like, man, I need to switch my power, you know? I mean, I'm not saying people think like this, or this is really what's going on, but I look at it as a speculation of what's going on behind the scenes. What is some of these people's thought process for switching powers? You know, I mean, and then, you know, they switch powers, and maybe they start winning, right? Switch to a meta power, and they start winning in open world. So it's like, let me go try and get some PvP gear. So now they bring that broken shit to arenas, and you know, it just, the cycle continues. But yo, I'm telling you though, it started off, it's just only like 4 villains fighting right now. I mean, the heroes are coming back. The heroes are getting knocked out, and they're coming back to get knocked out again. It's crazy, right? I mean, this person right here is Celestial. I don't really know whose power is what, but all I know is that the villains was kicking the heroes back. I mean, they were kicking them left and right. I mean, respect to the heroes for coming back and taking more L's, but the villains stood their ground. The villains, they stood their ground. This is actually ridiculous. You can't make this up.